Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Is there a possible timetable out there that's going to let us know when gold and silver prices take off? It's very possible. We're going to tune into a video I'll share with you briefly, and our good friend Ralphie is going to explain to you, in his opinion, when the COMEX might be out of precious metals. Is that even possible? Let's find out. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, and right now is the time to do so, check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get an additional free half ounce of silver. So the market closed with silver at $19.24 an ounce. Over the past couple of weeks, we see some crazy things happen with silver. It started to climb, went back down. We've seen a huge spike. We saw a drop, recover, and anytime it starts to get anywhere around that $20 mark, we start to see manipulation take place. But I'm saying to hold your boats, hang tight. There's some good news coming up. So again, silver closes the week at $19.24. Gold closes the week at $1,645.70. As I stated before, gold moves differently than silver does. It moves a little bit slower. Anytime you start to see any gain getting anywhere around that $1,700 mark, you'll see manipulation take place, and you see these spikes like this. And then the price dropped down and started to regain, and it's been crazy roller coaster time. This is right around the level that these central banks definitely want this gold. Those who are accumulating as much of it as possible, there's a reason for it. You got to ask yourself, why are all these central banks everywhere accumulating gold? And it's not just them. There's entities that are doing it as well. We're talking about corporations and billionaires and millionaires alike. So gold closed the week at $1,645.70. Cryptos are seeing a little bit of a boost. There's some greenage going on there. You got to be paying attention to what's going on with the Ethereum. Man, they are really taking off again. So Bitcoin's finally above the $20,000 mark again at $20,620, but Ethereum at $1,555. You can see here over the last 5 days, there's been a lot of activity, seriously. Here on the 25th, it was down around the $1,300 mark. And since then, it's skyrocketed up, and it has been maintaining, let's just say right around this level here, which is the $1,500 mark. So there is some life in cryptocurrency, you guys. Meanwhile, you got XRP sitting at 47 cents, Cardano 40 cents, Solana $32.01, Dogecoin is at 8 cents, Polkadot's at $6.05, Shiba's at 4012. I hope you guys didn't dump your Luna Classics or your Shiba coins. Hang tight, nor your Satomas. I told you, high tide lifts all ships. All you had to do is kick back and wait. Are we going to start seeing a rebound? I don't know. I don't think so. It really just depends on what goes on during this election. I can tell you that. So there is some movement happening within the cryptocurrency world. People keep bringing it to my attention. I go, I know, I haven't spoken much about it. I've actually been paying a lot more attention to gold and silver. Right now I'm trying to stack up as much as possible. But cryptos are making some type of move. I know Michael Saylor's really happy about this. Okay, shout out to Chris Marcus as usual at Arcadia Economics. He kicks ass. I will leave a link for his YouTube channel down below. I highly recommend you go check him out. But he has his friend Ralphie check in here about once a week to give his report on what's going on in gold and silver and other things that might be of importance to us. But I want you to hear what he has to say about gold and silver. It's very interesting. Again, these are just his predictions. They're not set in stone, but it's something to seriously consider if you're a person wondering how much time you got to continue stacking your gold and silver, or if you even want to get started. Let's hear what he has to say.
As you know, my thesis is that the longer that gold and silver remain depressed with the physical price way above the spot price, I think physical premiums in gold are about 10% now. It has never been that high, not even during the financial crisis of 2008 has been that high. And physical premiums in silver and junk silver at least are around 42 to 45%.
Not only that, you have some bullion dealers out there having some buyback specials. They're paying $10 above spot price for those of you looking to part with your precious metals. I forgot the name of the company. I think Amex at one time was doing it. I don't know if they still are, but just go in there and just say who's doing gold and silver buybacks for people who are struggling. I recommend you hold on to them because Rafi here is, in my opinion, is showing us a table that you should be paying attention to.
And in silver eagles, which we'll discuss in a second, they're around 75%, and there is significance to that. And so as long as the premiums stay elevated, and they will stay elevated as long as the spot price is so depressed, that means that the central piles of gold and silver are going to continue to drain as the arbitrage is in the physical markets right now, and it is very glaringly obvious why. In the registered gold category, we have what is now 11.5 million ounces left, down from 18 million ounces in the middle of June. So by those calculations, we have about 7 months left to zero in COMEX registered gold. That's just 7 months. So if we can maintain these depressed gold prices for that much longer, then yeah, registered supplies will probably zero out. Will we maintain this level of low gold for that much longer? I don't think so. The question is what happens when the gold price rises. Will the COMEX stockpiles go back up, or will they continue to drain as the premiums stay ahead of the spot price? And that depends on whether the dollar obviously loses its purchasing power relative to goods or not.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the dollar is losing its purchasing power. It's going to crash, you guys. It is being artificially kept up. We're being lied to around the world. If you are on Twitter, you can see all the posts from experts around the world, telling people not to believe that the US dollar is that strong. It's a lie. It's fabricated. They're just trying to figure out what to do in the meantime while they keep this thing artificially pumped. I don't think they're going to be able to save it, but who knows? They've pulled a much bigger rabbits out of the hat before. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I've anticipated the dollar crashing since about 2015, and the economy is all crashing just like we see now since 2015. So the safe haven is gold and silver. That's where you want your money to be into. So as the dollar crashes, you're not losing your purchasing power like the dollar is. So if you have not yet, I highly recommend you move 25, 30% of your nest egg into gold and silver. It's just my opinion if you want to protect yourself, okay?
Next 7 months, I think there's a good chance that we see a drain in the dollar's purchasing power, but it is something we're going to have to see. As for total gold, total supplies of gold, including eligible and registered, that is the supply pledged to deliver against contracts and the supply that's just sitting there owned by whoever, and we're going to get to who might that be in a second. We have about 9 months of supply left. How do I get to 9 months of supply? Well, by these calculations, we have 37 million ounces by the first week of May or so, and now we have 25.54. By those calculations, then we have about 1 year left of total gold supplies. However,
look at that drop in the gold supplies. The supply of gold in the COMEX is just disappearing. Keep that in mind.
there was an article out by Ronan Manley of Bullion Star recently, which reiterated the situation that we saw in April 2020, that the COMEX admitted that 50% of its eligible gold stocks are not available, and they are privately owned, and they are not really part of the COMEX stockpile. Now, this is not a new development. This has been around. We've known this for years. This is just being reminded. We're being reminded kindly by Ronan Manley that this is the case, and therefore not to count all of the supplies, which is why I cut 12 down to 9 to take out 50% of the eligible stockpile. We also see that in registered silver, the drain continues. We are down. Last week we were at 40. Now we are at 35.93. The drain continues, and it is continuing fast, and it is accelerating. Since silver squeeze, I think near 120 million or 115 million or something like that ounces have been drained from the registered category.
Since the silver squeeze, which happened in 2020, in just 2 short years already, they have been drained of 100 million ounces of silver. And it's continuing. Something's going on. There's no doubt about it. Their registered reserves are disappearing. Something's going on, and make sure you do what they do, not as they say.
And we just had our recent step down of about 2 million more a few days ago. And this trend just keeps continuing because the price, the spot price is so depressed. So we have about 4 months left in the registered silver category. After that, who knows what happens? We'll see, but we're getting close.
So is that a possible timeline before we see gold and silver skyrocket? What happens when the comics is drained? Will they even allow it to be drained? That's the bigger question. We know that sooner or later they can't continue to hold this ball down. It's going to pop up any day now. That's why I'm saying right now, you should be stacking like you never stacked before. So you saw what Ralphie was saying, and it's not anything set in stone. He's just saying, in his opinion, this is how much longer until we see that gold and silver is being drained out of the comics down to zero. If they have nothing left in their vaults, then there's no more reason to manipulate the price on gold and silver, and they will no longer have an instrument to do it. So what does that mean? Does that mean we're going to finally see the real value of gold and silver? I think so. You let me know what you guys think down below. I look forward to your comments, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.